Hello there, it's going to be another short book review today. This one is also going to be on a series, but it's going to be on the sequel series to the Spiderwick Chronicles, Beyond the Spiderwick Chronicles. Quick summary. In the first book, these two kids, Nick and Lori, are trying to move in together. They come from different families, so it's very complicated. They do have different family structures, they have different family values, but their parents, their respective separated before parents, have now come together to be married again to each other, and now they're trying to get along with crap and stuff, and she's a big fan of the original series, the Spiderwick Chronicles, and she kind of sort of believes in it almost, kind of maybe. And she has the field guide, she has everything, so she goes around and looks for all this stuff just because it's really fun. I've done it too. But Nick would rather stay inside and play video games because, let's face it, who wants to go out in the middle of Florida, which is where they are, and get in all the mosquito nests with subdivisions and mosquitoes and humidity. Oh, sorry, Florida. You don't have many redeeming qualities. You do have one. Universal Studios. And maybe Disney World, but... Anyway, they eventually find some stuff. It's a little weird, but they find some stuff. They make a promise to the Nixie right here to find her sisters, which they don't for a while, and she gets mad. But, moving on. Second book, a little bit less well-named, in my opinion, is A Giant Problem. In this book, they find out that there are giants everywhere, and they need to be killed, because they're starting to wake up. They're like cicadas who wake up every, 5 or 10 years, I don't know. They do wake up every now and again, and they sleep for a very long time, but they tend to wake up every 500 years. So, they're starting to wake up again. They find a giant killer. They take lessons from him. They kill some giants. They, eventually get rid of the rest by tying a recorder of mermaid music to a boat and sending off to sea. And giants really, really love mermaid music and Nixie music, so they follow it and they go underwater for a while, just following it, and then they're just like, we're in the middle of the ocean. There's nothing here. Let's just go to sleep. So they sit down and go to sleep. But then they find out in this one, The Worm King #3, that they were supposed to let the giants do their work, because the giants had work to do. The giants were supposed to keep this thing from coming around again. This thing being, as the title suggests, the Worm King. The Worm King is a squish, smash, smush of dragons that have been smush, smash, mushed, tangled up into a big ball of terror and heads. It's essentially a hydra. It's basically all it is. And this particular one that Nicholas here is starting to fight is like 500,000 years old. It's old. It's old. It's old. It's scary. Scary. But anyway, they do stuff. They find things. They save people. They hurt people. They are hurt. It's all around very stressful. It's very stressful. But eventually they do kill the thing, and it's... Anyway, now on to some critical analysis. While I am a little bit more of a fan of the original series, I do have a really warm place in my heart for this series. I have a couple of reasons for this. One, because I was around when the books were coming out for the second series. I was starting to read it as soon as the second book came out, and then the third book was like, waiting, it's gonna be here, it's gonna be... But then I lost interest and had other things to do, and then the book came out, and I didn't have enough money for it. I like the original series a little bit better, personally, because it's a little bit more my forte. I really like the monsters, I like the conflict, I really love the conflict, but the new series focuses more on the conflict than on the monsters in some cases, and in some cases it's more of an action movie. And I really like the fantasy portion of it, not necessarily the action movie fantasy portion of the books. It is a little bit more rough and tumble type thing, because there's a lot more gigantic monsters and there's a lot more fighting for your lives and fighting to the last breath type stuff. And there was that to an extent in the original series, but this one is even more intense, and I really like that about the series in and of itself, yes. But I like the original series a little bit better, just because I like it. And I like it. Does it? Moving on. And plus, with the cover designs, they're even kind of telling their own story. It's like, oh my word, it's full of life. There's so much green in the leaves that this book is made out of. And then in the second one, it's like, they're starting to turn brown. What's going on? And on the back, it's burned because In this series, giants breathe fire. And on the third one, the leaves are almost not there, and they're just kind of dead and black, and it's over. I do really love this series because it's just like the old ones in the way that it's very easy to read. The sentences are very similar in the way that they're made. They're very easy to handle. They're short chapters. They're easy to get through, that kind of thing. And I really love the series because it's very, very much new. There's a lot of new characters and new types of characters. There's new development happening as a character. There's so much more going on, so much new stuff going on. There's new animals, there's new creatures. Some of them are just a little weird. One eats a dude, and it just... it's... Aside from slightly overused plot points, it is a really good series, and I would suggest it to anybody that would like to read it. No, I know I'm super, super slow with Galway Bay, and I'm super, super slow with Harry Potter 4, but I'm getting fairly close to ending both of them. So I'm going to end both of them at the same time and do two videos about each, I guess. That's what that's what I'm going to do. As soon as I finish a novel, I'm going to make a video about it. And then I'll make another video sometime soon, because I'm not going to finish a novel in like 4 or 5 days. And as you might have noticed, I have more stuff, because I have recently been given a lot of free books. My professor from English last year gave me a bunch of her old books that she was going to give to Goodwill. And there was a lot of them. It was like 200 books in this one box. And I'm giving some of them to Goodwill, like half of them, because it's like how to live a better Christian woman's life and how to unlock your sixth sense. But there was the one, it was how to potty train your child in less than a day. I'm not going to keep that. I was like, well, I can keep it under reference so I can keep it so when I have a kid. But I'm like, you're not going to use that. But I also have some new additions to the background as little characters. Oh, and there's also that lamp thing that used to be over there. But I thought it would be prettier closer, so I moved it closer. There's this little guy who you probably didn't see because he's so far back there. But he was given to me by my grandmother because she knows I like gnomes, and she knows I like music. And I'm going to be a music teacher eventually, hopefully. So she gave me this as like, he's a little conductor gnome. And this guy is probably my favorite because it's so detailed and so awesome. This is the troll from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It was sold in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It wasn't made there. It was made in Cosby, Tennessee. Excuse me. Hello. But yes, he'll be back there staring at me the entire time from now on. And again, if anybody watches these things, I encourage you to go check my other And again, if anybody watches these things, I encourage you to go check out the other channel that I'm a part of, Past the Camera. Because I love everybody there, and I want you to see them and see what they do. Because they have other channels in of themselves, and I'm very proud of them for what they do. Very nice. And one of the people over there basically was direct inspiration for me doing this thing. So, check out Just Your Average Bookworm, if you would like, if you're into that kind of thing. She's a little bit more booktubey than I am. I'm just like, hey, I want to make book videos, so I'm going to make book videos. It's a character from an old YouTube show that I watched a long time ago. It's Big Head Kid. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today, and I will see you with the next book in the next video. Goodbye.